Okay, right. So, you ready? You have all your notes, papers ready? Okay, we start off. Okay, so, because it's Chinese New Year, so we're going to learn with the Chinese New Year items. And of course, if today at the end of the lesson we feel that we have a fun learning process, then yes, we'll celebrate with the coins, the gold coins, okay? Right. And the fortune cookies, of course. Right. So now actually, most of us were here. Okay, we are quite excited. We like the idea of learning something new, and some of you may say, "I've already learned something about algebra, from my tuition teacher or someone." Okay. Now here's the first fact of the day. Okay, everybody's try pronounce first. Algebra. Now you sound like a pro. Very good. Let's sound even more pro now. We are learning algebra. Okay, now, and in fact, the first fact you learn that I'm going to tell you is that you actually learn algebra since when you are really, really small. Maybe, hold on. Maybe when you are a baby. You already started learning algebra when you're a baby. But you became a little bit better and more proficient at algebra when you're probably like primary 1. You start to be more pro at it. It is true. No kidding. Okay, later I explain to you why I say so. Okay, let's start off today with this gold ingot. 财神爷, huh? 财神爷. Yes. Ding 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 ding. Okay, first there is this letter G. Gold ingot. You see, I labeled G. Ding 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 ding. Now there's something inside. An unknown quantity. Unknown to you, of course. Okay? But if I say this unknown ingot, if you don't like to write G, you can draw the... Oops, sorry, this is a bad drawing. Let's try that again. It's like that. Okay, is this better? Yeah, okay. Now, if I say this is like this, and I say, what number should I use? I should use this one. Okay, I say, if I have this equation, what do you think is that? What inside this? Is you sure? Oh, wow, quite confident. Really? Oh, how do you know? Let me check. We should do it a smaller number first. But you're so good. How do you know? Let's go with another one, okay? If I say 2 plus the same thing, okay? Equals to 6. How about that? Oh, very fast. Wow, I don't need to teach already. Yeah, see, I told you we already know. Okay. So the idea is that this gold ingot has a quantity that you are not sure. But because of a certain equation presented to you, you are able to tell what is that possible missing quantity that this has. So let's say if I say the answer is 6, and I hold up 2 pieces, like how it's represented here. 2 plus this gold ingot. right? Means there are 6 of them, correct? Right? So it will by right mean that what's inside here? 4. Which is indeed 4, right? Okay, so in here there's 4. And there's 2 here. And it fits here, right? The equation is true. Agree? Now, to make the first equation true, I have 4 here, right? And you say this was? Let's try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14? Correct. Suppose it's correct? Do I have to, whoops. Do I have to count all again? Do I have to count all again? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I take out from here. I count again. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh yeah, that's all is correct, So it makes sense. Now if I were to say another one, if I were to say, let's say, use another one. Okay? If let's say I say in this one, and I were to say I start with the G here. Okay? If I start with the gold first, and then I take out 6 from it, and then I get 14 left. Oh, you're so good. But it's a minus symbol, you know. Huh? How do you know? Oh, anybody's confused? Oh no, I'm not confused. Very good. Okay. It's quite obvious. It just means that, okay, inside this container, right, G, of an unknown quantity, if I take out 6 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I take out, right? The action take out. And then here, inside should be 14. So the process seems so. Then to double check, I count. Do you need me to show you how to count this? Not really. You can count to check, but yeah, it should be so. It seems quite so okay so far? Any difficulty? No. What does this sound like? So the first reason why I say you learned this before, this equal sign here, and these numbers seem to hold a familiar relationship. When you are primary 1, you hear about this identity before. What, someone say something. Thank you. A part-whole relationship. Have you heard about number bond? Right. And if I say this is 4 and G, this is 18. Okay, sounds familiar, right? Sounds familiar? Right, that's okay. And if I say this is 2 and G, this is 6. Right? If I say this is G, this is 6, and this is 14. 20. Does the number bonds all make sense? All make sense, right? But this G is like what you can say, a question mark. Correct? So when you are in primary 1, you probably heard that when I have a missing part, I must know I need to choose either plus, minus, and very soon divide or times. Correct? So in this case, I have the whole, I have one part, here's a part, but this part is unknown. Right? And this part can represent different quantities. Is that okay? Okay, now let's move on to the fortune cookie. But before we move on to fortune cookie, let's add a bit more to the gold ingot. Are you done with this? Okay, then we're going to show you a similar idea to the Papa whole relationship that Kai Xuan is saying. Okay? Very excited. Now, I've only got one ingot here. Later, you'll be clearer if I show you my fortune cookie boxes. But let's try see if you can understand this, okay? Got this ready? Okay. Now, here's the same gold ingot. Okay? Let's say, if I were to say, I have this gold ingot G, and I use instead of plus minus, I use times. Alright? And I say it's 8. What would be inside? 4? 4 quite fast, huh? Oh, I really feel that, my class is really quite powerful. If I say, let's try another one. The same thing, huh? 2 times the ingot, I get 16. Oh, very fast. Okay, you are able to form a good sense of thought into this. Then, if I say this in front again, just like this, huh? Just like the same. If I say divide, let's try the one that's missing first. 16 divided by G equals to 2. Oh, 8, okay, very good, still 8. Wow. And I say 16 divided by 2 equals to G. Oh, still 8. Wow, very fast. Oh, you get it easy. Seems like you are able to link this idea of number bonds Papa whole well. Okay? But we need to go a bit further in this. When I take out the fortune cookies, we need to go a bit further. Because a bit later when we do this next thing called algebraic expressions, simplifying and expanding algebraic expressions, and evaluating algebraic equations, that's where the confusion may happen. Okay, so yes, you're right. If I have 4 in this G, and I say I times 2, because I know it's 4, I times 2, it will mean 8. Alright? So we're quite okay with this. If I were to draw a number bond, similar to this, with the idea of this is the whole, and this is a part, and this is a part, is still possible. Why? Because I can say that this is 8, this is 2, this is G, but the operation is times here. So this is plus. But this is times here. And this one, for example, I put 16 here, G here, and 2 here. So you will mean that if I want to find 16, I'll be using this times this, correct? If I'm finding G, I'll be using 16 divided by 2. Right? So this number bond idea sounds okay? Everybody okay? Okay, very good. Then we look at page number 2 of your textbook. And you realize that I was just using all the equations that are there. But what was used instead of the gold ingot, what was used? In the textbook, page 2. Actually, I used all the equations that were there. So instead of my gold ingot, what did they use? Happy face. What else? The heart shape. And let's first sort out the first part about this algebra. Okay? Oh, you can't see what I'm seeing. I should put it on the screen. Okay. You've got this one already? Got it already, huh? Put it down. Okay. Oh, so it seems like a good start because everybody was able to deal with the number bond things really well. But they used the happy face and the heart. So for the whole page here, was it okay? Now, what did they first started to call it? They call it an unknown. So I would circle the word unknown. Later, it tells you that what is the number represented by this smiley face. And then, it gives you the word equation here. So in this topic, these are the English words that are important that you need to be familiar and you understand it. So we have represented by a smiley face in each equation. The smiley face is an unknown. The second one says represented by a heart shape in its equation. And then you realize that in the end, the robot gives you an explanation. The robot says, well, so in algebra, what we are meaning is that we can use symbols, shapes, objects to represent unknown numbers in equations. Now we'll talk a little bit more about equations very soon. But before we talk about the equations, we are going to move to dive a bit deeper into the part on expressions.